Assets and Arbitrage. Hope you guys are having a nice Wednesday afternoon. It's hump day,
Indeed.
so we're halfway through the week. I am hoping that you guys are, they're still sending messages. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
So if you see me go like that, I'm looking at messages too. Um, we're hoping that you guys are getting through your week. It is almost August. Oh my God. It's almost April 1st, not August 1st, which is the start of quarter two. So for those of you who were going to participate in the 12-week year and you didn't get a chance to start from January, this is your fresh start. You definitely want to begin spending this week and weekend maybe planning some goals, micro goals,
Yeah.
in what you would like to do in quarter two. You definitely want to spend this weekend looking over your ledgers, looking over your finances, taking inventory on what type of assets you have, your holding, coins, tokens, stocks, bonds, treasuries, whatever it is you're into. Have a nice accurate count of what you're holding. If you know what your profits were for this quarter, document those. If you know what your losses were for this quarter, document those, and really kind of start taking this seriously and treating it like you yourself or your own corporation.
Yes. I still want to apologize. My voice is still a little shaky. I thought it would have bounced back by then, but we're going to get through it anyway. Like we say, always be stacking, stacking, stacking. You're stacking your Satoshis, you're stacking your ounces, whatever else you may be into, what other coins you may be into, stacking. Little bit, just a little bit goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way. And we, uh, we came on a little early from what we had scheduled, but we wanted to let a few people get in the room before we get into, we're going to do a show that I know we have done before, but it's been way back. It's back in the 30s or something.
And we want to look at it with fresh eyes.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. I love that term. We want to look at it with fresh eyes. Perfect. So yeah, we're just gonna, chop up a little game. Like she said, we're getting close to finishing that first quarter. So it's, it's like a business. But for my people out there, and Aaron knows, for my people out there, whoever ran track and you ran the 1600, it's like making that first lap around. You make that first lap, you're like, all right, I got one lap down.
3 to go.
3 to go, yep. That's how I used to look at it. But yeah, we're going to get into this story. And it's an interesting story. It's an
But
interesting
don't get
topic.
into the story yet, babes.
Okay, I'll wait for a few more people to pop in.
Yes, I want to say hello to the people who have popped in right now.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
about 16 people in the room. We're only 3 minutes in.
Forgive
It's
me.
not quite 7:15.
Okay, forgive me. I can't read the chat. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Yeah, I'll do the, I'm going to welcome you guys in just a second, but get them their reminder for sure. And then we can do another reminder when the room is kind of full.
The reminder is we're stacking. Yeah, we still stacking. We still stacking. Dollar cost averaging. It's tools out there that you can use that can help you. So definitely take advantage of those tools. And for the people who like to stack precious metals, gold and silver, there's different companies that that we've spoken about. We like to use Atmex, but we highly recommend you use Miles Franklin. CEO Andy Shackman is a friend of the show, so we highly recommend you use that. And you have a couple other companies. I forget because I get them backwards sometimes, but you know who they are, and you get great deals. American Silver Eagles, we recommend if you're starting out to stack ounces first. So the more ounces you get, say you get 10 ounces, you'll get less. What will we get less?
What do you mean, babes? The premium?
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. She helps me. We'll get less premium. You get a smaller premium.
They're getting at you in the chat.
Oh, they're getting at me already. What's
Uh-uh.
wrong? What happened?
He said, "Forgive him, man."
Oh, we already
That's
started
Jake.
that? Oh,
But go
okay.
ahead, right? I didn't mean to cut your wisdom, but I keep looking at the comments.
I
So I'm
thought you was
laughing.
looking at me. I was like, what happened? No, if you get a larger amount of ounces, you get smaller premium, right?
Premiums, yes.
When you get the American Silver Eagle, they're gonna give you the highest premium. You get a 10-ounce bar, a 5-ounce bar, smaller premium than 10-ounce, smaller premium than that. And then if you go up to a kilogram, you'll get a really good price on the premium. So, be looking at that. Usually with gold, we're going to get, what do we do with gold? So gold, you're going to get the American Gold Eagle if you decide to buy a whole ounce of gold, which is sometimes could be tough with the price now. The price up there, where 2,200.
Y'all are future millionaires. You could afford a gold
Yeah, go
ounce.
get
You
it.
got it. You got it. Anything else, Babs?
Nothing that I had seen. I was thinking about, what else was I thinking about? American Silver Eagle, because it's universally recognizable. So people always can recognize the Silver Eagle. But you can buy some of the other, like Atmex, they have their own coins. So you can buy an Atmex 1-ounce round, or they have these nice square, rectangular rounds and stuff like that. And,
I'm gonna read them to you. You're gonna laugh.
okay. And so, Atmex is the spot we like to use. We've been using it for many, many years. And also, you can sell it directly back to Atmex. Say you want to cash in 100 ounces. They'll send you the box, right? And then they'll send you the address. You wrap it up. They'll pay for the shipping. You ship it to Atmex. They'll give you what they think it's worth, and then you can say yay or nay. That's with Atmex, though. That's with Atmex. I'm not sure about these other companies. I'm not sure. You have to talk Miles Franklin and those companies, but Atmex for sure. We've been dealing with them. Very, very
Long
solid
time.
company. Very solid company. Yes, indeed.
So let
Name.
me welcome y'all into the chat. Shout out to Jake Fever. That's cousin Jake. He got all the jokes. BK Crypto, boom, first in the room. To Cal. Jake Fever said, buy more, take no losses. When I reminded you guys I'm sorry that I'm chewing gum, y'all, but I have to when I get little auras. Sometimes chewing gum helps. I'm not going to have a seizure, so don't freak out, but I do need to just chew, and I promise once I'm out of my zone, I'll spit it out. So I'm not trying to be rude, but Jake Fever said, buy more, take no losses. I agree with that. Also, if you are into shit coinery because you think it's fun, you might want to reconsider some of your approach. Maybe take another look at the project, take another look at the performance, look at 1 year, 3 year, 5 year charts. If there is some shit coinery you can kind of get rid of, maybe you should, right? Especially if you're holding out hope that this coin goes from 0.0000000000002 to $1.75, right? You might want to just kind of reconsider. So keep those things in mind. I think Jake has the right idea. To each his own. But you really want to try to, do as much as you can in order to fill out your portfolio
Yes, indeed.
with things that have forecasted good performance, great performance, outperforms, etc. We do know that there's risk involved, but we're not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. But some people, when you start asking them about coins, sometimes they have it just because. So just take a look at that, right? Make room for something else. Maybe make room, to put more money into something else, those kind of things.
And not to bang on anybody, but she and I both know some financial advisors, and it's the face I'm gonna get you. So
I talked to one today, and it didn't go well.
I see. All right.
I had to do a little bit of teaching. T. Willine, Man for Hire. What's good, people? Thank you so much for joining. You're always there to encourage people to smash the like button. We appreciate you so much. Jake Fever with the jokes. Forgive him, man, because he ain't got no voice, and apparently sounds like Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't come back.
It didn't come back because they knew that Jake was going to be on tonight. The universe knew.
Should have came back by now.
Jake Fever said dollar cost averaging was the thing, but now it gets as much, now get as much as possible, quick as possible. And I believe Jake Fever is specifically talking about Bitcoin more so than anything else. But understand for some of the newbies in the room, dollar cost averaging, especially if you're buying at the top right now, at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bitcoin is about $69,310. So while the chart is showing it as down, you're still buying at the top. Dollar cost averaging helps you to mitigate the volatility of Bitcoin. While it is the history's most outperforming asset,
Yeah.
and all of the good things that come with it, you are buying from the top if you're a newbie.
You know, them cats, man, because they ain't going to get all mad at you if it take a little pullback. It's like, man,
But the
some
majority,
diamond hands.
for the majority of us who have been in it for a long time, I think I'm coming out of my zone, y'all. For the majority of us who have been in it for a while, it's up for us, whether it's up or down in the little 60 dance.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I think I'm okay now. T-Will line, man for hire, 2.2 pounds of gold, hell of a necklace. Y'all got it. If you could afford to, let me tell y'all something, right? Because we always talk about frequency. Cousin Rue was kind enough to join me on the fly last show to help me articulate the sentiment that I had about frequency. But silver, gold, precious metals that come from the earth, they have their own vibrational frequency. It is one of the reasons why we have a push for that here in the house. It's one of the reasons why we'll dump out a good portion of our inventory so the children can sit in it, play with it, touch it, hold it, make it clink and make noises. We literally let the small children play with it because it does have a high vibrational frequency. There is a healing to it. That's why surgical, many surgical, well, it used to be silver before. Surgical steel is cheaper now.
Surgical steel is cheaper, yeah.
Right, it's cheaper, but they used to do surgery with silver because of it's expensive as hell. That's why surgery used to be so expensive. But it does have a vibrational frequency for healing. It's antimicrobial. They have things called colloidal silver. Would gold also be called colloidal gold? The gold that you eat on the steak and in the champagne and stuff?
Yeah, you can order it mixed in that water.
But
yeah.
right? So, but keep in mind, these things are supposed to be in the earth and not mined as shiny objects, right? We were supposed to be, it's supposed to be in the earth as the ground turns and the crops grow and the photosynthesis takes place and starts to kind of metabolize the gold, the silver, the platinum, all the stuff that's found in the earth. We are supposed to be ingesting that. Again, it has a hell of a frequency to it. So if you can buy gold, that is God's money. That is the creator's money. Silver is its second place, and silver represents a very significant attribute of God. It is he's the refiner. So it was a good way for you to understand the work that he does with you, with your spiritual being. I won't get into all of that now, but 2.2 pounds of gold. It's probably over $2,000 right now. I should look it up.
Yeah, it's a little bit over 2,200.
But, right, it's definitely something that should go on your goals list. It is something, even if you just have 1 gold ounce, right?
Yeah, because really when you buy gold, if you go on there, a lot of times it's sold in grams.
Yeah, you can buy grams.
It comes in nice little packaging, and then you get a gram. You're gonna spend now probably about over $100 for a gram of gold. But it's good. It looks like it looks like your Visa credit card, that little gold chip right there.
It looks like the chip on your debit
That's
card.
what it look like. That's what it look like when you get it. So sometimes people are disappointed when they get the gram of gold.
But but the fact that's not coincidental. That little thing is gold and it's in your debit card and it's used for financial transactions. 2, jewelry, right? The whole point of wearing gold in your ears, on your neck, on your hands, on your feet, on your fingers. Gold and silver is because of its vibrational frequency. Now, granted, they do something a little bit different to gold jewelry than they do to gold ounces, right? You're not wearing 0.9999 refined gold in your ears or on your necklace or anything like that. But people wear jewelry because of its vibrational frequency. Obviously, it started in ancient Kemet.
Yes,
God's people were the first to realize that. So it absolutely has its utility. We as melanated beings, right? We are stardust, just like, now I don't know, right? Because I'm not supposed to be a globe earther anymore. I'm supposed to be a flat earther because of the whole dome. But however it got here, right? You should have it in your presence. You should be engaging with it. It will bring up your financial frequency, your vibrational frequency. You're also, again, when you engage with the gold, right? You are tapping in to wealth. You are tapping into that frequency. You are engaging with that frequency. So it is a good thing to do. It is a good thing to have. By buying it, you are also participating in it. And I'm not talking about the paper gold, right? I'm not talking about one gold, which would be the depository. I'm talking about actual ATMEX, where they are selling you the tangible ounces.
Yeah, and remember, friend of the show, Andy Shackman, he said gold and silver are wealth. No matter how much you have, you have what you have.
1 ounce, a million ounces, it is wealth.
It is wealth. It is wealth. If something happened to you tomorrow, Thanos, I can't even do it. Thanos snap.
You can't talk, you can't snap. We
And you
just struggling
gone.
today.
Somebody gonna come through the house and they're gonna take that 1 ounce of gold.
Yes, they will. They will snatch it in a
If
heartbeat.
that's all
honey.
you had, they're gonna take
They'll
it.
take it.
It is wealth. It is wealth. They are wealth. So, keep that in mind because it's very important because people, I think, get caught up on the word wealth like there's a number attached to it.
I want to welcome Dana Dane to the room. Said SD Bullion not bad. I used to love Dana Dane when I was little.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out to Dana Dane, who was holding it down in the hip hop days. Y'all know how much we love hip hop. Will Hobdy, hello, Assets and Arbitrage family. Thank you so much for joining us, Will. Jake said, yeah, the only precious metal I'm buying is a big ass 18 karat gold chain because I'm flexing with my gold. All right, Jake. If you know, you know. Thank you so much for joining us again. If you know, you know, said he uses ATMEX and SD Bullion.
There we go. Yeah. SD Bullion. That's what I forgot.
Dana Dane said that many zeros is a scam. I know, right? I've seen the coins that got all of those zeros, and people are like, it's gonna go up to $1.10. And you're like, no, it's not. T. Willine, financial advisor. They told me in 2017 stay as far away from Bitcoin. So when they recommend gold, I stay far away. The reason why I think they do still recommend gold is y'all have to remember that gold and silver have been currency for over 6,000 years.
Yes.
They will continue to be some sort of valuable currency in the years to come. So the history of it is what gives us this reputation. Say you're saying again?
What's that?
Gold.
Oh, yeah. 1 ounce of gold should buy a man a fine suit.
And no matter how much gold is valued at, when it's valued, in the time span that it is valued, it always is able to buy a fine suit. So
$2,200 to get you a nice tailored suit.
Right. Precious metals is still worth and likely will always be worth something.
Yeah.
It's something significant when I say something.
And you got to remember, we had the friend of our show, the chief, says, put your pennies where they put their dollars. So you got to see China, India just building up their gold. And so you're like, well, I better be getting at least a little bit.
So China is the world's largest holder of gold, and JP Morgan Chase is the world's largest holder of silver. So if you just wanted to have an understanding of its value, they're hoarding the hell out of it. Let me tell you a little story, T. Wills. I don't know if you know this, but JP Morgan Chase has had 2 RICO charges.
At least that
we know.
I'm wondering about a third one, but I got
where they had to pay $1 billion in fines. Now, granted, they made 4 billion, but they paid $1 billion in fines because what they were doing is something called spoofing. What was it again? How they were rehypothecating it?
Okay, so what they were doing is on a thinly traded market at night, they would put in orders to make it look like it was more desirable. I don't want to say desirable, but
In demand.
yeah, more in demand than it was. And then they would just they would just pull all the contracts.
Meaning, when you say pull all the contracts, articulate that a little bit more specifically.
Well, when you get up in the morning and it's trading hours, it looks like the price is here at a certain price point, and then they just snatch all the orders and the price just drops.
And the price drops. There we go.
And it's spoofing, and they got a RICO charge, right, for that. And so, like you said, had to pay 980 million,
Almost $1 billion, yes.
almost $1 billion, but nobody went to jail.
Right, and they're still the world's largest holder of silver. Silver has two markets. So the first market, obviously, is the precious metals market, but the second market is the industrial market. Silver is used in almost all electronics, solar panels, and many other industrial items, especially items that use a lot of technology, and one processors and things like that, televisions, cell phones, laptops, anything you can think of now that requires technology, it is utilizing silver. So you have to understand it's also going to be a heavily coveted item since technology is what's driving industry in 2024.
And we did a show also, shows back, about them having trouble mining because of what?
The
Eco issues.
Not the eco issues, the environmental issues. I mean, I know when you say eco, but their environmental issues
yeah.
for them, their health issues, like OSHA kind of level things.
And then
it's dangerous.
People aren't being paid properly who
Obviously,
mine.
they're doing it in third world
Here
countries.
they mine here in Mexico, Western Mexico. They mine and this is where you get most of your silver from Mexico now. They mine down in Peru, Chile. So people aren't being paid what they're supposed to be paid. So there's being protests and things like that. People are getting injured.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's
The
dangerous.
occupational hazards that go with it more so than environmental. So they're not mining enough silver to meet demand.
Right. And so when you go, I had a report and we went over like January 1st, January 2nd. They told you the demand of silver is down lowest it had been in 10 years. So not the demand, I'm sorry, the
output of the mining of the silver is the lowest it's been in 10 years. The demand is really, really high.
Yeah, the demand is high. The output is lower than it should be. And that's a big problem because people need iPhones. People need laptops. I mean,
and the silver that goes in technology doesn't get retrieved. It's not scavenged, right? When you throw your laptop out, that's it. There's nobody going in the trash behind you to take the silver out of it to reuse it. So it's a one and done. So you can kind of see how the demand is going to keep going up and the output from the mining isn't meeting demand. They had said about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, we saw several articles where geologists were concerned because they said that silver is going to be the very first element struck from the periodic table because it's going to be mined into ultimate scarcity and out of existence.
Yeah, it's gonna be grayed out when you get to the periodic table.
Right, it's gonna be grayed out.
Yeah, it's gonna be grayed out.
So where will Apple get their silver from? Well, JP Morgan is hedging on that bet. Think about what I'm saying to you now, right? JP Morgan is hedging that bet. They're forecasting that as well. They're watching all of the issues that are taking place. And when the time comes, they want to be the first in line to begin to market off that silver at prices of proportion that we've probably never seen before. But if you, and this is what the show about is today, right? Millionaires, decamillionaires, wealth. People with a wealth mindset think differently. They think innovatively. They're always looking to see, how can I do something different? How can I generate income in a different way? How can I forecast the need or the demand of something in order to generate income? And here is a great use case for you. Maybe you can be one of the marketers that can market your stash of silver. You have a significant volume of silver, or Apple and Samsung and
Yeah, and you know, I want to just say this. Shout out, shout out to Jake Fever. He said in the past show that they will use some type of other metal, but I think the key part of it is the heat.
And
Yeah,
the way it
yeah.
conducts
It
electricity.
conducts heat. Like you would try to use something else, but like your phone would get too hot, your laptop would get too hot.
Because
All
if
this
they
stuff,
could have found something cheaper, they would have already.
they would already be using it. But they'll try to make something.
They will. They'll try to come up with something,
But
but it won't be as efficient as silver.
Yeah, silver.
Now, like I said, with that being said, you can put yourself in a position in the future where Apple can come to you, where Samsung can come to you, where all of these different industrial giants who make technology, people who make the M1 processors, I don't know if IBM still does them or not, but et cetera, can come to you to access the silver that they need for the amount they are willing to spend, and they'll be willing to spend anything to manufacture their items in order to keep business running. So just keep those things in mind as far as positioning
Right.
yourself in the future.
And just in the lowest of way, we talk about low time preference in the lowest of way.
Low
If you
time
just got
preference.
1 ounce of silver a week, you get 52 ounces a year. You start working, you know, time over time passes. 10 years, you got 520 ounces. And that's just with just doing 1 ounce a year.
Right.
That's
like
that's
mere
discipline.
minimum,
That's discipline.
mere
So let's
the
do that.
bare minimum.
You know.
Nerd Up Inc., thank you so much for joining us. He said, peace, family. Jake Fever, $100 for a gram of that Zaza, too. I'm not sure. Oh, you talking about the Zaza thing you talking about? If you know, you know. Simon family, I'm thinking about selling some gold to double up on silver. Your thoughts? I'm real bullish on silver after 2030.
Oh, so that is the exact thing to do. We're no financial advisors. So, but you have the silver to gold ratio. It's 90, it's probably over 90 to 1 now. And that is the perfect time to leverage your gold to get silver, right? And then, you know, you do it the reverse way, right? Because when it comes down, right? So I don't know how much gold you are speaking about, but yes, this is the best time to buy silver because it's at a 90, over 90 to 1 gold to silver ratio, because the national gold to silver ratio over history is 15 to 1.
Yeah.
So gold is way out producing silver. So you want to grab the silver with the leverage you have. And then, you know, you just wait. You kind of wait it out. Low time preference. You know, this isn't. It's not a fast game. You know,
But they said,
not all your gold, but you know.
yeah, definitely keep exposure to some of your gold.
Yeah, but if you got a little bit of gold,
That you
this is a
can-
good time to buy it. Just a little bit. You know, use a little bit of your capital to buy some silver because it's so cheap against gold.
Right. Casper Cooper, salute wealth stewards. Dana Dane said, manipulate the market. T. Will, I'm man for hire. I respect it. If you like gold, you like gold. The youth don't want gold. As Whitney Houston said, I believe the children are the future. I mean, like I said, to each his own, but we do understand the utility and the value of precious metals. Casper Cooper, easier to steal money with a briefcase than with a gun. Ain't that right? Crime pays, criminal get justice. Game over. Casper Cooper.
And for you people,
Find out if the-
for the people asking about gold and silver, if you don't have it in a depository, make sure you know how to secure it in your home.
protect it.
Yeah, you have to protect it in your home. Even when you get on things like this and people, what, you got some silver, you got some gold in the house. So you want to have certain kind of safes in place or places you can hide it where nobody can find it, things like that. You have to, because if you get, like I just said, over 10 years, 520 ounces of gold, that's a lot of, not gold, I'm sorry, silver. That's a lot of silver, you know, and you gotta hide that. You gotta hide it. You gotta be able to put it away. You gotta be able to secure it. Nobody knows that you have it.
Casper Cooper said, find out about fixed deposits and SKRs, safekeeping receipts, thank me later. And T. Will Line Man for Hire said, superconductor, anyone, right? Silver is a superconductor, and that's why they use it in the industrial market. If you know, you know. I agree with you. But I also agree with Bernie Mac when he said F them kids. I agree, right? Like I said, if you know, you know, right? I'm going to just kind of use your handle. If you know, you know. Like I said, we understand that silver is going to be struck from the periodic table between 2030 and 2050, they say. We're already looking at them having trouble mining the rest of it. Unless another supernova explodes. I don't know where the new inventory of stardust is going to come from in
And
order to get some
yeah.
new inventory into the earth,
I ain't even gonna go there.
right?
Yeah, but and there comes a point where if the price of silver does not move to a higher level, then there's no profit in mining. So mining will shut down. So the price of silver must go up so that mining can continue. Otherwise, mining shuts down, and this is silver we got, and the price will go up anyway, and then maybe mining will continue. But like if you watch First Majestic Silver, if you check that out, First Majestic Silver and
Keith Neumeyer.
Keith Neumeyer, and check them out. They're on YouTube, and he'll tell you a lot about it. I mean, he'll tell you about. See, he tells you about the on the ground things that are happening with silver and mining, and then if you can follow the trace, you find Andy Shackman. He tells you about the things he has to do to source silver so that he can sell it, and you can see the chain that has to happen so that it can just get to the point where we just buy it and they send it to our house. And once you understand, hey, they shut mining down, so he can't source silver, so the silver price goes up. You kind of understand what's going on. Gold as well, but gold has a higher. They're getting their profits from their mining, so gold's not having that problem right now. But silver is. So you check out Keith Neumeyer, First Majestic Silver. They're out here in, I believe, Dorado, Mexico. It's West Mexico.
Dorado means gold.
But I mean, silver is mostly found while mining gold.
Yeah, I'm just saying Dorado means gold. Mr. W. Smith, thank you so much for joining. I'm not sure what's going on with Restream and linking. We're supposed to be able to link to our Twitter, our Facebook, our YouTube channel, the gentleman's YouTube channel. He says, "What's up? I guess I was in the wrong room." So, it's Bitcoin Shango. You got to tell me because I'll forget about the Mr. W. Smith part. When employees see Bitcoin, or even more odd is when they know of Shango. That's funny. Interview, promotion, prospects. Oh, damn. I get it. But just remind me, Bitcoin Shango, because I won't remember your other handles. I would think you were someone new in the room.
Yeah, Bitcoin Shango. I used to have a nice black statue of Shango in my living room.
We did,
and the kids kept breaking it, kept breaking it.
I don't know. I said it must have been
I
jinxed.
kept gluing it back together.
It had some.
And then one day it was just
mucho
gone.
on
I
it.
said, "What happened to it?" They said it was too broke. You couldn't fix it.
I think the lady, when she sold it to us, she put a little hex on it.
I had a nice Shango though. It was real
Because he
nice.
just kind of shattered all on his own. It was the weirdest thing.
They
Anyway,
said you couldn't fix it.
No.
I
T. Will Line Man for hire. Can we be honest? Silver and gold is a boomer's market. I own both, not much, but a couple ounces of both. And everyone I buy from is over 50. That's funny, T. Will Line, because we old souls, so it probably make all the sense in the world that we got it. When I first met Simon and we got married, I was 19 when I met my husband. I'm 43 now.
Yeah.
I remember being like 22, 23, married, got a little baby, keeping house. And I said, I feel like we're 22, 23 years old in dog years. And sure enough, that was the truth, honey. I feel like we are old souls. So that makes sense, T. Will on hire. Bitcoin Shango said my son broke one of mine. I had to put it out of his reach. Yeah, he just kept breaking. We kept trying to glue him back. And where we got him from, Bitcoin Shango was like 2-3 hours away, so it wasn't even like you could just run back down there and find a new one. It was gigantic too.
It was a place called Magical City, and we had a lot of nice things over there. And but I said,
he was made from something and onyx mixed together. It was real nice, but he like just shattered like like a windshield. It was crazy, like a windshield with a brick through it.
That's the thing.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
And
'cause
I
I
said,
can't
maybe the
remember.
Lord said I ain't supposed to have that stuff. Not no way. So I don't know. We'll see.
I might try to grab
All right, y'all. We got about 40 people in the room. We want to get to it.
one. Oh yeah, let me get to it, man. I didn't.
Well, I just want to just kind of refresh it real quick.
Go ahead.
So I've been talking to you guys about Bitcoin profiles, wealth mindsets, thinking differently, putting away broke things. We're not broke anymore. We're wealthy, so we should have wealthy mindsets. And like I said before, you know, wealthy people, they think different, right? You know how people say there's levels to this, you and I are not the same. A lot of those sentiments hold true. And what wealthy people, they don't wait for someone to save them. They don't wait for somebody to advocate for them. They don't wait for somebody to help them. Nas had a real good line in King's Disease 1.
Okay, you gotta tell me a line.
He
first.
says, complaining, nobody helping.
Yes, not yes.
I can't remember the name of the song, but it was basically like, you got to do it on your own.
Yeah, it was the intro song.
Okay,
Well,
baby, just a second.
Yeah. it was-
So, T. Willine, you're not broke, and don't say those words. You are not in a state of brokenness. You're in a state of wealth. You got to change how you think. So I had made the title today, Solutions to Income Generation, because I think when you get to a certain point and you're changing your frequency, you're changing the way you think, you're changing the way you behave, you begin to think differently. It's a mindset shift. And instead of like, oh, they won't give me a raise, and oh, they won't give me the promotion, and oh, such and such ain't gonna help me put my business together, you start thinking, how can I get to this place I wanna get to? What are the things that I need in order to put these in place? What are some innovative and interesting ideas that I could have in order to get to the goal that I'm trying to achieve? And that's what Simon is gonna be kind of bringing up with you today. Just different ways to look at how your income can be generated, how your purchasing power can be preserved, right? Bitcoin is one of them, but there are also many other ways to look at this whole income generation dilemma.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into this. So we're gonna take a step back a few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, popped up. I need a six-figure man, right? Six-figure income man. And we know the good homie Kevin Samuels brought that up. And, rest in peace to him. I need a six-figure man. Then it was a high-value man. What? He's saying $10,000 a month was a high-value man, which is $120,000 a year. Of course, you guys know that. So then that kept going on.
And the numbers kept getting bigger and bigger. She needed a man who makes $790,000 per pay period.
Yeah. And so now we come today. We've done this show before, but let's do it again. Here I'm at Yahoo Finance. What 100K worth in the largest U.S. cities, 2024 study. So we're gonna say if one person made $100,000 a year, this is what they get in the cities. So let's go down and let's do the knowledge. I ain't even gonna read through all the stuff because we already know.
Let's read through at least maybe 10 major markets.
Oh no, we're gonna go through all of them.
Okay.
Okay, so when you talk about the level line, this is a level line. You make $100,000 a year. A level line. You know what city it is? El Paso, Texas. And if you make $100,000 a year, the spending power is
89,000.
89,000. So you can't even get your own spending power. So you can talk about how the dollar is dying, how it's down 98%. $100,000 a year doesn't even spend like $100,000 a year in El Paso, Texas. So let's go.
Where there's nothing.
Where there's nothing. Let's go. Next one, Oklahoma City. About 88,000 a year. All right, Oklahoma City. Memphis, Tennessee. $87,000 a year.
You want me to read it?
Corpus Christi, Texas. $86,000 a year. San Antonio, where a lot of our friends live, a lot of friends of the show live on San Antonio. It's about $85,000 a year.
Now let's read major cities.
So you want to skip
small
one?
markets, yeah.
Houston, Texas, $83,000 a year.
So your 100,000 only spends is 83,000 in Houston, right? So because of the decline of the dollar, you're losing over $20,000 in purchasing power and
Yeah, it
spending
don't
power.
spend like nothing. And let's come down here to some of these crazy shit cities I know, or shit cities. Cleveland, Ohio, $80,000 a year.
Is
So
Cincinnati on there?
no, Columbus is though. That's a shit city.
Mm-hmm.
You make $80,000 a year if you live in Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to the Columbus, the Ohio State.
Oh boy, Courtney not on yet. She'll get on you.
Oh,
When she
okay,
get
sit
on
here.
here. Shout out to
Goodness.
Courtney. Hi, sweetheart.
All right, so that's about it. We go to bottom one. Indianapolis, $79,000 a year. You make $100,000 a year in Indianapolis. It spends like 79,000. So let's go to the city.
Bitcoin Shango says shout out to Dayton, but Dayton wasn't on here.
Oh boy, I've been to dating it, man.
We had a house in Dayton.
Woo! Now you gotta go to these. No, these here.
Yeah, where it's worth the least.
Yeah, where it's worth the least.
All right, so there's 10 cities where $100,000 is worth the least. Where do y'all think city number one is? Shout out to my New Yorkers who refuse to leave their ass in New York. Manhattan, New York, your 100,000 US dollars spends like 30. You lost $70,000 in purchasing power because of your location. That's crazy. Honolulu, Hawaii's $39,148.
Remember when you go on vacation?
And you know what's sad is that New York got 1, 2, 3 cities in the top 10 where your dollar ain't worth. Okay, Brooklyn, your 100,000 spends is 43,000, so still cheaper than Manhattan, right? Queens,
Safer.
49,000. So at least you're moving up now to almost 50% of your purchasing power.
Queens in the house.
Queens ain't in the house where your 100,000 is 49,900. San Diego, it spends as 50,000. Boston, it spends as 50,000. Oakland, it spends as 50,000. San Francisco spends as 40,000. LA spends as 47,000. So imagine that it is more expensive to live in Queens than it is to live in Los Angeles, California. That's crazy. That's craziness. That is utter craziness. And I can't believe I'm reading that. And in the top 10 cities where 100,000 go the furthest.
We just did it. I just did it.
But we didn't, I guess we can read the other ones. El Paso, we said 88,000. We said Memphis, Corpus Christi, Texas. Texas is on here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So Texas has 5 positions in the top 10 of where your dollar goes the furthest. Oklahoma City is 87,000. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 84,000. Jacksonville, 83,000. And St. Louis, 82,000.
So why did we go over that? Why did we go over that? Because it's called assets and arbitrage. So you got to start thinking about the arbitrage. The number ain't, and the number don't matter. You fight to get 100,000, but where do you live at? You gotta tell us where you live at. People check in where you live at. You fight to get to 100K, and then what? You're 100K in Manhattan, but you living like you making $30,000, and you're 100K out there in Los Angeles. You living like you make 40,000, and so you want to tell somebody you make 100K, but it don't spend like 100K.
Right.
You got to make the bottom line. You have to make almost double 100K.
Yeah, to make 200,000 to make 100,000.
Yeah, anymore.
And then my question is, if 100,000 spends like 40,000, what happens to the people who make 40,000? They're they're making zero?
Last show.
That's how that math would math.
Last show, we talked about homeless communities popping up and adding up. I just watched a documentary about a homeless community that got out there in New Jersey. They're popping up everywhere.
Now
people are homeless.
Go ahead, baby.
I'm talking about as people get older, you're gonna get homeless. You know, because you can't make that much money. You can't stay working. People are getting sick. The jobs are laying you off. You're getting, what is it, ageism?
They're not keeping up with technology in order to do the jobs that are willing to pay for those high skill sets.
So if you had whatever made $40,000 in 2020, and you put a good amount away when Bitcoin was about 7,800. Look how you would be looking right now, as opposed to just keeping the money in a saving account in a bank, because the money is losing value every day. You
Hold
got to
on one
do
second,
something.
baby. Bye, Bitcoin Shango. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
We'll definitely catch you on the next live. Say hello to the family for me.
Yes, indeed.
Go ahead, baby. He had to leave.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
The other thing is, which is interesting, is can you give him the stat on what the average, Kevin Samuels used to give the stat all the time. The average black man makes how much?
About $40,000.
So if the average black man makes $40,000 in these, and he lives in these markets, for some of these markets, he's negative 7,000, negative 2,000, negative 5,000, just depending, especially like if we're talking New York City, the average black woman makes.
They said 52,000, but
So
it
she
might be
make
up.
12,000.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was something like 32,000, something low.
It was lower than the average black man.
Yeah.
So she makes 12,000 less, not more.
Yeah, less.
The average black woman.
White man. There was a white man who made an extra 12,000.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got
I'm
you.
sorry.
It wasn't the white woman.
He never even mentioned the white
Oh,
woman.
he didn't. Okay,
Because it was like,
because I know she make like 15 cents more than we do,
yeah, she makes
and we make like 15 cents more than black men do.
she makes 67,
Cents on the dollar, and then black women made
52.
on the dollar, and then black men made 48, right?
Yeah, they down.
So it was just a few cents in between us.
And,
But
you know, and I'm saying, and you know, a lot of black people work for government jobs. You know, the government jobs will pay well.
They will.
They will pay well, but you get out here, a lot of black women, they like to work for retail or stuff like that. I'm talking about a little bit older now. I don't know about the younger generation, but retail and things like that. You know, it's just, man, it's hard out here. It's hard out here, y'all.
So T. Will Line said something. I just want to read both of your comments. The one comment was T. Will Line lives in St. Louis and the crime is crazy. The second comment you made, low income people out here killing it. You disagree, they're getting low income housing, they're getting food stamps, they're selling them. On top of that, they get that big income tax return. Now, I do want to tell you something about that.
And St. Louis was on here at 82,000.
Yeah, we mentioned it.
Okay.
With low income, look at the quality of living that comes with that. I do realize that they get a lot of that subsidy and a little bit of extra money. They have significantly cut the EBT benefits significantly. Yes, they do sell it, but when you start dialing into how the majority, like on average, live, the quality of living is absolutely abhorrent.
It is.
Absolutely abhorrent.
Because as you get older and you don't have kids there to qualify for these certain things that you speak of, now you're older.
Or enough children.
Yeah, and now you're older, you're in your 50s, 60s. This is where the time that it comes, if you don't make enough money, you're going to be homeless.
And you don't qualify for any of those things. Too, even when they get large tax returns, T. Will Line Man for Hire, they don't know how to manage that money. They're not used to having large amounts of money pass through their fingers. So as quick as the tax return comes, tax return hit February 25th, that money is gone that weekend, right? Because they don't know how to manage money. And as soon as they get large sums of money, it just flies right out the door. They typically don't have a plan for it. And it's why we were seeing for a long time that welfare was a generational, almost like curse, because the habits and the lifestyle was passed from collective consciousness to collective consciousness within those generations. So I do get what you're saying. But when you look at it on his head, it's really not that great.
Yeah, you know, the arbitrage, you know, we try to talk about living abroad and stuff like that. You can find small cities like where we live at, where, if you make $100,000, it's tripled or quadrupled because
Sounds like
the cost of living in the city where you are. And then all of a sudden, I make $400,000.
Now there are choices and trade-offs. Let's make that very clear, right? And my choice and my trade-off and following my husband with the plan he had to aggressively, now we have to change it to 70-30, to aggressively invest 70% of our income and live 30% without, I want to say, without impacting severely the lifestyle of the children. I had to give up a lot of conveniences. I had to give up a lot of, I call it accoutrements. But when I say accoutrements, like something as simple as going to get my eyebrows waxed, right? I have to go to his barber to get my eyebrows done now.
Yeah, my barber cold, man.
He does
He's a
it
cool
decent.
dude,
But it's
man.
not the same as going to the
He cool
salon where
dude.
she's going to draw it in and do all of this great stuff. It's not the same.
Yeah, he got deported from LA, so he know how to
Yeah,
cut
he knows
black
how to
hair.
cut hair. You
Yeah.
know, getting just acrylic nails, right? There's probably one or two places here in the city that it's cheap, but it comes with, they're gonna pop off in a few days. You might as well just press them on yourself and call it a day. So I'm talking little stupid stuff that doesn't matter because we're aggressively investing 70% of our disposable income, our income. So, like I said, it's choices and trade-offs. There's no Cheesecake Factory for me to tease him about for him to take me to. We would have to go all the way to Mexico City to do something silly like that.
And part of our investment package, we got animals outside,
Yeah, I have
right?
animals. I
People
have
can't have animals in
cows
the
and
city.
sheep and
Yeah, we got
our
animals.
our
Because
sheep just had 3 baby lambs.
bodies.
So we got 3 cute little baby black sheeps and they're so black. They are so black. Their wool looks like night. It is just so beautiful.
So
And they're little babies.
yeah. So we had that. That's an investment.
But we gave up convenience is my point. There's no DoorDash, there's no Uber, there's no
Nah,
Lyft, there's no whoever else besides DoorDash, Uber Eats or whatever where we live. We have to jump in the car, go get it ourselves. Groceries don't deliver to our homes. Like all of the conveniences you guys are used to. And there's 6 of us, right? So I could use them bringing the groceries here during the day when we work. It would be nice to sometimes just kind of DoorDash dinner for the evening. But I cook at least 5 nights a week out of 7. And we're talking Thanksgiving level meals, Thanksgiving volume meals, because we have 4 boys who are active in sports. They're hungry. I'm talking, we do stuff from scratch here. So it's choices and trade-offs. If you're a woman who likes to eat out a lot, you're not going to get that here. And unfortunately, that's not part of hubby's, what's the word? That's not part of the agenda
The vision.
for how we are
And so
supposed to be
you wouldn't
utilizing the
be
money.
happy. I mean, you'd be happy maybe in other ways. It's just beautiful. You know, we look out the mountains in the morning.
But some
It's
people don't do
beautiful.
good trading in their creature comforts.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm cool with it because I understand the mission and the vision, but I'm just saying there's choices and trade-offs. So, you know, I'm gonna trade an instant convenience now for a significant wealth in the future. And knowing that my children will never struggle, my grandchildren will never struggle, it's worth the choice and trade-offs. So those are some of the things that we're talking about with mindset shifts, right? I I was talking to somebody about, you know, if you're having trouble with your money in the market that you live in, and the young lady lives in a very expensive market, it's like consider the market you live in, move to a different market where the money, instead of it being short, it's gonna be super long.
content cousin Bitcoin Zay put on Twitter. If you're saying you're struggling for money, ask yourself how many times do you eat out a week?
And shop impetuously and
And that's
shop on
and that's
Amazon.
Bitcoin Zay because he know.
Yeah.
He know. He's down in a high rent area.
But when I spoke to her, she asked me, so in Mexico, you got Chipotle there, right? I said, no, Chipotle is Tex-Mex. You don't have Chipotle in Mexico. Right? And I'm not saying move to where I live, but there's no Chipotle in Mexico. She's like, yeah, I'm good on that. So your whole decision to add 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 extra dollars to the money you already make is based on no access to a burrito bowl. Is you
Who are
shitting
you
me?
talking about?
I'm not gonna say who I'm talking about. I ain't
Okay.
trying to shout them out.
Oh, don't shout them out.
Live.
I'm gonna shout out to the big homie. How tall was she?
I'm not going into all of that. So
So you
that's my
already know.
point,
You
right?
already know.
Like you made a whole life decision based on, because I guess Chipotle is her favorite. I get it. I love a burrito bowl too, but we have to think different. We have to shift our mindsets if there are serious things we want to do. It sounded crazy. My mom said to me, and it made me laugh. She said, I did not pack up my life, move to America from Guyana for you to move to Mexico. And I just laughed and said, you walk so I can run, Mom. So she just kind of laughed like that wasn't the idea, was for you to have your opportunities here in the US. But like life shifted for you in British Guyana, life shifted for me in, I'm going to call it British America because it really is colonialized America. Life shifted for me, and I had to go somewhere else to find the opportunity, like you found the opportunity in the U.S.
And thing is, the people sometimes, when they feel comfortable enough with you, ask you, they say, man, we want to be in America. So why
What are
would
you doing here?
why would you want to be here? But they don't understand the game. It's called reverse engineering, right? They get to go to America and get all these things, and it's like,
They get
okay,
the business loans. This is
boom.
why, we're always complaining about who owns that 7-Eleven, who owns that jewelry store, who owns all of the businesses in your community. T. Willine said that he lives in St. Louis. Look at the businesses and who owns those businesses in your local community with all of that crime. Very rarely is it us. But what you don't understand is you can leave and get those same trinkets, get those same benefits, get that same compensation, get that same red carpet treatment in, I call it another market, but in another country. I want to shout out Cousin Rue. He snuck in the room on me.
Oh, did he?
So shout out to Cousin Rue, who came on the other night on a whim because his cousin asked him to help her articulate her thought and frequency. So I really want to thank you for that again.
Thank
I
you,
also
sir.
sent you a video, Rue. I want you to tell me what you think about that video. I'm sure she doctored it, but the concept is very real. So tell me what you think about it.
Cousin Rue, and shout out for that. And my son Tayshawn, the one we did the show with, he wanted to do a one-on-one with you.
So we're gonna get with you on that.
So we get with you on that.
Ruth said, women don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory anymore. Don't know if y'all heard about that. We did. That's why I said I don't have a Cheesecake Factory to tease him about. Shout out to y'all family, living the American dream, get your dollars right, and get the F out of Dodge. This is Casper Cooper. Yeah, right? And like I said, it's not glamorous here. I literally live in what we call the bush. That's what West Indians call it. For Americans, we live in the country, y'all. We got animals. We have a pathfinder. I don't even have a paved road from the street to my backyard where my truck drives. I have my own private drive down front, but it's hit or miss here in the country part.
Yeah, sometimes rain.
Horses, there's horse duty all over the street because people literally ride horses up and down the street. There's cow duty because the cows are coming everywhere and eating the grass
But it's real nice.
sheep.
It's laid back.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's a mountain. Cousin Ruth said women want $500 on first dates, or at least that's what's going around TikTok. I don't know what's going on there, Ruth. I said these women want their men to make $759,000 per pay period before she'll even consider going on a date with him. It's nuts. VK Crypto said yes. Cousin Ruth said, yeah, it might be time for people to take their American dollars and move to Mexico, Costa Rica, Philippines, or somewhere. I do want to tell you something else. Because people have a propensity for following trends and not really doing their due diligence. There was a time when Costa Rica was a great idea. Do not get me wrong. At this point in time, so many expats have fled to Costa Rica that is driving the market prices up. So now the market prices in Costa Rica look a lot like American market prices. Okay. That's what happened in Hawaii. That's why Hawaii is like ridiculous now, because a lot of Americans, especially a lot of the boomers, they moved to Hawaii, took those dollars there, drove the market up, and now it's almost unlivable. I know that Costa Rica is trying to do their own Bitcoin beach. I can't remember what it's called. They have a name for it, but it's in Dominical. And Simon and I, Sean and Reggie.
Well, that's Bitcoin Jungle.
Was Junior even born yet? Yeah, Junior was in Costa Rica with us. He was like 2 or 3. Tino wasn't born yet. We lived there for about a year and change. It's a beautiful country, but the arbitrage that we are getting here now with the peso going from 25 down to 16 to 1, it's still better than the Costa Rican market. It's an island. You have to consider how trade and exports and imports work batteries are just unnecessarily extremely expensive because they have to come from somewhere else. Little things like that you definitely want to look into and not just follow a trend that you're familiar with. So I want to make that really, really clear. There's certain parts of Mexico. People are like, oh, I want to move to Mexico. I want to move to the beach. You want to move to Cancun, guess what? You're going to pay American prices. People speak English there, so it's comfortable, but the prices are high. You might as well have stayed in whatever city it was you just came from. And maybe not, right? Like if you're moving from New York City to Cancun, it is a significant difference. But if you're moving from Lubbock, Texas to Cancun, it's probably not a good idea. You may want to look at Merida or somewhere else.
These are the times where you have to do your due diligence. Because, like she said, this is stuff that's popular, but you got to go find little, just like, oh man, this is, and you find them, man, on YouTube. I tell you, you find them. I found a place up in northern Brazil where it's a lot of black people stay there, and the price is very low. You know, it's not Sao Paulo, it's not Rio de Janeiro.
But right now with my mom in Florida, that's just too far of a flight if something happens to her. I need to be home in 2 hours.
We gotta stay
if something happens to my mom. And this allows me to be home in at least 3 to 4 hours where I'm at now. I can be home within the day if God forbid something was to happen, which something did happen. My father died and I was able to get home in about 4 hours. So those are also things you need to consider, your actual obligations. You also want to be what Simon likes to call fluid. He always says this is a fluid situation. You have to be fluid too. You have to be like water. And that's very important because when you start listening to the reason why people won't do certain things, you start to realize just how ridiculous those reasons are. You can't be so fixed and rigid and non-flexible that, you know, it's oatmeal cream pies that keep you from changing your quality of life, your lifestyle, and your ability to do the things you've always wanted to do. You cannot let the fact that Amazon cannot deliver to you by 7 o'clock this evening when you order at 8 o'clock in the morning. It takes a week and a half for any Amazon to come here. I have Prime because my Kindle comes with it, but I could order whatever I want to order. It's still going to take a week and a half, 2 weeks to get here, period.
And remember, you don't have to pick up and move your whole life. Right?
Yeah, you don't, like we did. No, you don't.
You might just stay for 2 months and then go back to your life. You know, hey, you get out. It's wintertime. Oh, I'm gonna get out of here for 2-3 months, and then when spring come back, you come back. You come on back to to your regular house and stuff like that. And that's what Airbnb is for, because you don't have to come down here and buy something. Nope. You could just go on Airbnb, rent for 3 months. You'll get a discount.
3 months, 6 months,
and then you'll stay, and then you'll go home. And you could do that, and like, okay, next time we're gonna do it in this country, and that gives you a way to
test, to test pilot different locations, the things you love about them, the things you dislike about them, the conveniences, some of the things that make it unnecessarily difficult, because that happens sometimes. Unnecessarily difficult. Cousin Ruth said life decisions based on a burrito bowl. Like, I'm serious. She didn't give it no thought. Ain't no burrito bowl, I ain't going. So I was like, oh, okay, I got you. What I wouldn't give for a slice of that good old New York City pizza or some Chinese food from, and I haven't been back to New York since 2005. So I'm really not that dead set on it. It'll just be nice if it could happen. Domino's is fine. But these are the little things that we want to look at. These are the mind shifts and the approaches. It's how you think about these things, how you perceive them, the thoughts that come to you about how can I make my paper longer? And a lot of times it doesn't require any individual to assist you with. You take time to think about different innovative ways to get it done. And sometimes it's by any means necessary. It just is. If you're saying to yourself, we have hella kids, which means we'll probably have hella grandkids. We don't want to see either one of those two generations struggle. We want to teach them how to do this. We want to homeschool them. We want them to have this vibrant experience where they can think, they can breathe, they can move. We want to be on a ley line where the energy is there, that spiritual energy is there. You're willing to do whatever it takes if your mind is built that way. And again, it does take time to adjust. It takes time to learn things.
Yeah, you have to, man, you have to leverage against that dollar because that dollar is going down.
And continuing to
It
go down.
continues. So you got to put your money somewhere, but also if you could live somewhere where the dollar was going up in your favor, and that's why we call it the arbitrage part. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. It took us a long time, to get settled, if you
Right.
will. And it depends on your situation. If you got a whole family, if you're single, anything in between, you gotta test it out.
Yes.
Test it out. You might not like it, but test it out.
The other solution to the income generation dilemma is, are you able to do a side gig? Is there a skill set that you hold that you can monetize? Do you have a solution to people's problems that will allow you to market it and sell it as a service or as a product to where you can make extra income? You can start thinking about these things. Can you be the change agent in a problem that you yourself suffer from or see? And you really just kind of want to sit down with a notebook and start asking yourself multiple questions on how I can find the money or generate it, the income, I should say income, not money, in order to aggressively invest in this newfound opportunity called Bitcoin, which is not doing anything but going this way. Even if it does that little dance, you see how little the dance is? That's why I call it Bailamos con Bitcoin. It's a little itty bitty dance in the 60s, right? It's a little itty bitty dance. It's like a little salsa dance, right? For West Indians, it's just a little dirty wine, right?
Go zoom out and look at the Bitcoin chart.
And look at the performance of it.
6,000.
Look at the 5-year chart, right? When he says zoom out, look at what happened over the course of 60 months. From the first time you paid that car note to your very last car note, what happened? This car appreciated in value, unlike your real car, right? So you want to kind of look at it in that sense, right? I always pick the car note because you bought, I can't call it an asset, you bought a thing, right? That the minute you took it off the lot, it depreciated in value. And over the course of 60 months, you have to pay and pay and pay on this thing. Imagine if your car note was actually whatever you were going to put into Bitcoin over that 60 months, what would your profit margin look like? It would be craziness. It would be tens of thousands of dollars. And again, an alternative way for you to preserve the purchasing power that is being lost year by year by year in these markets that we just named. I'm sure all of you live either within those markets or near to those markets that we named, right? Which means people have to work extra hours. A lot of times they like to play this game when you're salaried. You work the extra hours, you don't get overtime. You don't get time and a half. You don't get double time, right? So they're able to take the time from you without investing anything extra in it. Are there ways where you yourself can put that back? So obviously, we're probably not going to get reparations. Is there a way where you can pay yourself? There was one more thing. Many of us, many people this year, they changed the tax code. There were a lot of single moms who did have dependents who actually owed the IRS for the first time ever because they went and snuck and changed the tax code. If you plugged your numbers in from last year, if you got a tax return last year, this year you probably owed money if you plugged that same W-2 into the system. Yeah. So those single mothers who didn't get the tax return that they have relied on for however many years they've been relying on it, let me ask you, if they put their money into Bitcoin, would that matter? Not really. I'm still good. I got my Bitcoin is up. It's almost 70. I told you guys at 7 o'clock it was 69,000. I've been invested in it. Even if you said I've been investing in it since 22,000, I'm good. So these are the things that we're asking you guys to innovatively look at, to start asking yourself questions. What are some of the solutions I can come up with without relying on a savior, without relying on someone else to advocate, without having to kiss somebody's ass to get it?
So I'm gonna circle this around
Go ahead, babe.
because it was about 100,000, 6 figures. 6 figures don't mean nothing. You go, man, like she said, Manhattan, $30,000, you ain't making nothing. But you could say you could walk around and tell people you make 6 figures, like it's okay, all right. But then we're gonna go back and you live in you don't even have a bedroom, right? And so,
What do you mean you don't have a bedroom?
nah, what's some things called?
What, baby? Oh, an efficiency?
Yeah, efficiency.
Yeah, I
you
get
got
it.
you
I
got
got
that bed that comes out the wall, and you make 6 figure in Manhattan.
I get it.
And I didn't see Atlanta on there and some of the places black people like to live in Charleston and stuff like that. But the 6 figures don't mean nothing. Everybody's pushing on that, pushing on it, pushing on it. I make $150,000, but rate adjusted, you make $60,000.
And that's just living expenses. We haven't gotten into credit card debt. We haven't gotten into student loan debt. We haven't gotten into your spending habits. We haven't gotten into how many children you have. Are they in sports? Are they in a STEM school where you have to buy the electronics? And we didn't even get there. They're talking about shelter, maybe car,
You're talking about one person.
and they're
This is
talking
one
about one person.
This is your income. This is your income.
So it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, let's get to these people, man.
For your soul Nance, thank you so much for joining us for your soul Nance. Why y'all don't buy any meme coins? So Simon, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Hubby had Doge, and I had a MacBook Pro, and I used to write my books. I'm a published author, so I was working on, I think, my 4th installment or something. I think it was the 5th installment, babe.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the computer died. And it wasn't the battery, but it was the battery, right? Hubby came home. I was like, Simon, my MacBook died. And he's just standing there like, he's all right, give me 15 minutes and I'll go take care of it. Because that's what he does. That's all he says to me. I'll go take care of it. He comes back down. He drives me to Office Depot. Office Depot is 45 minutes away. Buys me a brand new iMac, y'all. And guess what? He paid for it with Dogecoin. He went and sold all of his Doge. You didn't sell all of it though, did you?
I sold what was needed.
He sold the Dogecoin to buy my iMac plus some of the nice little accessories to go with it so that I could finish working on my book that evening. So yes, we do have meme coins. I think you have Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu.
Yeah, I don't even touch it.
He's got Shiba Inu. So for your soul, we do have meme coins.
A couple.
If you know, I know them burrito bowls be hidden, but it's not enough for me not to get with hubby's. Let me tell y'all something about my husband. I tell y'all this all the time, but for the newbies, a visionary, people use the term loosely, and I believe that vision is a God-gifted talent. Not everybody has vision. And my husband has significant vision. He got that 20/20 vision. Hindsight, foresight, insight, all of it. So whenever he comes to me and it sounds crazy, his track record is nuts. It always somehow ends up working. Even if it don't work initially, it works out like crazy after the fact when we just kind of tweak a few things. So when he came to us, this is 2016, we were sitting down and he said, I want to be able to invest, and at the time it was 80% of our income.
Yeah, back.
And live off of the 20%, but not affect the lifestyle of us and our baby. I was pregnant with Santino. And I was like, how the hell we gonna do that? We live in Florida. It's impossible. What are you talking about? He kept researching it, fixing it, tweaking it. It started off as Ecuador. Yeah. Then once we kind of talked that out, I needed to be a little bit closer to my mom and turn into Mexico City. We didn't start in the big 8-bedroom house that y'all see us sitting in when we do our lives. We started off at, in the mountains. It was very cabin-like. I think it was 3 bedrooms, which was fine because that was enough because Tina was just a little baby. We didn't need that extra room yet. And we had to do a lot of adjusting here in Mexico, from Guadalajara to Cuernavaca to Mexico City, back to Cuernavaca, now here in a place called Ixtlahuaca de Rayon. And it's because the mission, he fed me, says, as a nation builder, Aaron, it would behoove you to get their collective consciousness together, the collective consciousness of the children that came out of you, by going along with my program. That's not manipulation. For the women who are about to write me, talking about, he manipulating you, he gaslighting you. No, that's not what those things mean. What it means is, as the visionary of the family, as the CEO of this organization called the Simon family, and I don't mean the brand, I mean the actual nuclear family. He is saying that we can give our children and grandchildren the greatest future, the greatest start, a start that neither one of us has ever had, if we can be disciplined and committed enough to follow this plan. And it did require a lot of sacrifice. But you had to buy into the plan, you had to buy into the person in order to go along with the vision, but you had to see it like, the CEO of my organization wants to take the organization in this direction.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good idea. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll figure it out as we move along. And that's how we have to start seeing our partnerships. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Young ladies, for those of y'all who don't let no man tell y'all nothing, ain't no man gonna tell y'all what to do, y'all go to work and y'all do exactly what your male boss tell you to do every day of the week. If he tell you jump, you say, yes, sir, how high? If he tell you sit down, you go sit down and be quiet. If your husband, your partner is coming to you and saying, this is the direction I want to take our organization in, and it's for our prosperity, it's for our abundance, but not even ours. It's for our grandchildren and possibly even our great-grandchildren. I'm going to buy into that mug as a nation builder.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to buy into that. Right? If you was trying to do that inception to me and plant that seed in my mind for it to grow, it worked. You can kick your chair out now. For those of you who've seen the movie, you know what that means. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of angry emails from the women. Oh Lord. T. Wellline, you never had a burrito bowl? You don't have a Chipotle where you live at in St. Louis? Really? If you don't have a Chipotle, do you have a Corito? Right, that is like not Chipotle, but it tastes just like it. We had Corito and Chipotle in Cincinnati. It's so good. You gotta try it. You gotta try it. And make sure you turn the burrito bowl upside down when you eat it to the foil side. That's how it works. Many people don't know that. Let freedom ring. That's what I was thinking, a warm place to go for the winter. Let freedom ring. You could just come visit your cousins here. You want a warm winter? Come visit us. Anytime you want to. You just give me the dates. We'll pick you up from the airport. You know you got family in Mexico City. Casper Cooper, and I'm serious about that. Let freedom ring. I'm not joking. That wasn't a joke. I'm dead serious. You got family here. You want to come visit? We'll take you around. We'll take you out. We'll show you a great time. You get to meet your little cousins. It'll be really, really fun, and it's nice and warm here. It's temperate, pretty temperate all year round. Uphold dollar cost average calculator is solid as F. Oh, okay. For those of you who need a dollar cost average calculator, Casper Cooper is sharing the Uphold dollar cost average calculator.
That's solid.
And we can't see some of the emojis y'all are putting in here. It's driving me crazy because I want to know what they look like. Jake Fever, buy Telcoin. One shitcoin, I'm planning to get me another Bitcoin when I hit 6 cents. Big Watch Dude. Yay. Thank you for joining the room.
Oh, Big Watch Dude. Okay.
He wearing the same watch as.
No, this is a new watch.
Oh, that's the.
I don't know if it is. This is.
You see what you started, Big Watch Dude? This is what I'm talking about. I'm gonna need you to come in under another handle.
So you probably can't see under, but this is a United States Army watch. Yeah. Right. So this was.
And it come in a nice watch. It come in a nice box.
So for my veterans out there, you can get a nice Army watch from Invicta.
Did they have an Air Force one?
No.
Oh, you see how they be hating on us? Well, Simon was in the Army and the Air Force. I didn't like the Army. I did it for like 4 years. So Air Ready Reserve.
It's a big Army watch.
They ain't treat me like the Air Force treat me, so I'm hating on them.
Put respect on my name.
But thanks, Big Watch Dude, because now when we have to shoot, he be like, all right, I can't wear the same watch as the last show because Big Watch Dude gonna be expecting something different.
You're gonna make me go buy something.
I know. Oh, don't I owe you 2 watches because you the vet, right? We had a vet the other night. He wouldn't laugh at something and he didn't. I think he couldn't see it though, so I might have got it gypped out of my bed. Casper Cooper, can't go nowhere if you ain't got no vision. Can't go nowhere if you don't know the distance. The word of God says, my people perish for lack of vision. It's the word of God. Big Watch Dude, generational wealth, you guys are on point. We got so many kids, Big Watch Dude, and I know they're all gonna have kids, and them kids are gonna have kids. I wanna be the grandmother at the barbecue where there's like 90 people there, and they're there because of me and Simon, some which way, shape, or form. So that's the kind of granny I wanna be. I wanna be the grand, I don't even know the grandbaby's name. Just come here, baby. Come here. I wanna be that kind of grandmother.
Big mama.
Yeah, I'm already big mama. While I got you guys on here, there's 51 people in the room. We're about to do it. BK Crypto is our content cousin. We are going to support him. He has all of the swag, the sauce, the drip, whatever you want to call it. This is the time to flex. Bitcoin will eventually go back up again. So get your crypto wear. Get your Bitcoin gear. Simon is patiently waiting, BK Crypto, for his sleeveless hoodie. We're patiently waiting.
Make it black.
Or
Heather Gray.
Or charcoal. Yeah, that works. You guys, when you buy the swag, the sauce, the drip, we are not sponsored by BK Crypto. We're just his cousins, and we're just showing him love and support. It does also go towards his crypto educational group. So he's able to orange pill an audience we don't have access to, and many of the other content cousins don't have access to. I want to shout out cousin Ruel Black. Black Rue has the metaphysical knowledge that we as spiritual beings need. We're not human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and Ruel captures that lovely and is able to incorporate it into our Bitcoin crypto journey. So please go, you can find Black Rue on Twitter. You can message him. You can check out his shows. Cousin Rue is it. I'm going to tell y'all that right now.
My man.
We absolutely love and adore him. Our son looks up to him and his content. So we would really like y'all to show y'all love. Bitcoin Shango got the best tweets in the business. I'm going to tell y'all that now. So if y'all like he did, it doesn't matter. He's still our cousin. So if y'all like looking at tweets or whatever the hell they call them now on X, definitely follow Bitcoin Shango. Y'all, please follow us. I got people thinking we impersonating ourselves because I don't have anybody on Twitter. It's like 160 followers or something crazy. So if y'all get a chance, please follow us. I promise I'm going to start posting stuff. I just didn't want to be like them little IG girls on Twitter who got to show their breasts and everything to get followers. I don't want to do it that way. So I'm trying to think of a good Simon Family Investment Venture way to send out messages.
Yes, indeed, man. Follow us, man. Follow us, man.
The Chief, aka Big Grizz, in the drop down, you can get BK Crypto's website as well as subscribe to the Chief, Big Grizz. He's doing cigar and crypto. We want to support him because he is talking to physical people who are literally asking him, tell me what this Bitcoin business is.
Yeah, we're gonna get out in the streets, y'all. You know, Erin.
I'm preaching now.
she always be worried about getting out of the streets of Mexico. We're gonna get out of the streets and we're gonna do some more videos and stuff.
Y'all don't know I hate the streets because I have to do all of the Spanish and all of the translation of the Spanish, despite both of us being out there and one of us being in Spanish Honor Society, but can't speak a lick of Spanish. I don't understand it. I just no entiendo. You understand?
Yo hablo muchos.
No hablo nothing. No hablo nada. These women don't want Cheesecake Factory, but they gonna wait on men's visions. I get it, T. Willine. I don't know. My husband met me at 19. That might have been the solution right there. Get you a young one that you can implant all your dreams into. I met him. I fell in love with him. I say, yeah, I go wherever you go.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I don't want to make it.
That's the problem.
I didn't want to make it like a.
What?
So.
I think it's because I was 19. T-Willine.
Get them early if you can.
I think so.
Because otherwise you're just gonna be out here in these streets.
Yeah, that's the problem, T-Willine. I met her when I was 19. I'll do whatever you want. You want baby, we're gonna have a baby. You want to move here, we'll go.
And she played me out.
And y'all know I'm real smart, so I'm not stupid where I'm just, following up after a dude. Y'all know how intelligent I am.
I'm not gonna even go into that.
Don't start. Don't you start.
But I did have a friend.
I fell
had
in
a
love
friend
with
fan club.
him.
I had a
We
friend
got
fan club.
married. We had hella babies, and here we are, y'all. But yes, as an intelligent woman, when he comes with certain ideas and I sit and I listen, I realize just how much more intelligent he is. And we have to be humble enough to be okay with not being the smartest one in it. I don't mean stupid, but I don't have a problem saying that my husband's smarter than I am. He's more intelligent than I am.
Okay.
He's more well-versed in many things than I am. Do I have my strengths? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I cannot sit on here, talk to y'all about all of the things I talk to y'all about, and not be honest that he probably taught me 75 to 80% of the stuff that I sit here and talk to y'all about, right? That would be not true. He's taught me so much. He has been my mentor, even though he's only a year older than me. He's been my mentor. He's been my accountability partner. I often tell you guys that he spoils the shit out of me, but he does not coddle me. Very different. Doesn't coddle me at all, right? He tells me the real. Aaron, I have and this is the other thing. Women who are with men who are high value, my husband's high value, obviously. He's been in Bitcoin for a long time, in addition to his other investments. And high value men have an expectation of their wives. You're not just out here squandering money, spending money. If I ask my husband to take me on a vacation right now, he's going to put that whole vacation together. You, as the woman, also have to have the integrity to not take advantage of your husband's affections for you. You understand what I'm saying? There's levels to this. We've been married 23 years. I don't have to manipulate him to do anything. I understand what the game is. I understand what the mission is, the vision, the objectives, the agenda. And in between that, yes, I do allow him to spoil me, but I don't, not to the point where it's in spite of my integrity and knowing that don't overdo it.
Well,
And that's what six-figure men are looking for.
and if that's
I'm not saying I'm a 10, but I'm saying my package is put together so well that it'll form a 10 at some point.
So if that's the case, where are my new LeBrons? I've been asking for 3 shows, y'all. Can I get some new LeBrons?
Y'all act like he can't just order his LeBron.
Send me some LeBrons.
Don't listen to him.
Size 14
Don't
now,
listen to him.
apparently.
And he just got some brand new LeBrons at the end of January. It's barely the end of March.
I just want some black and blue ones.
And big watch dude, he got 79,000 Invicta watches. He's got 2-3 of them yellow suitcases. You know what I'm talking about, big watch dude. Jay Fever said, you call them alts, I call them shit coins. Simon calls them shit coins too, cousin Jay. I tell him don't do that. He always says shit coinery. T. Willine, it's her child even if you the daddy. That's a fallacy. I don't know if you noticed T. Willine, but
now you done
I get,
extended the show.
yep. That's a fallacy. The babies belong to the daddies. Them babies don't have my last name. They have their father's name. Children belong to their fathers. And that's what people, I don't know how it got changed along the lines, but if the children belong to the mothers, they would have their mother's last name. And you often see when children have their mother's last name, they belong to their mama. But when you're in the union of marriage or, you're doing it the right way, you're not out sleeping around and don't know who the baby daddy is, those children have their father's last name. Children belong to the father.
Yeah, we
go on and send your emails.
Yeah, we might do a nice show on lineage. I think we need
children
to.
belong to their fathers.
I think we need to. Lineage.
Aaron, women are too far gone here. Yes, Cousin Rue. I probably can't help them. I know. I probably can't, but I'm gonna try. Just like the non-coiners, right? They've gone too far too, don't you think? They have gone too far with their I'd rather have the cash I can hold in my hand than y'all Bitcoins with an S. It's like, oh, okay. Well, we're gonna try to help them anyway. Jake said, you don't have Chipotle. You ain't living, my G. I know, it's so good. At Jake, I haven't had Chipotle since when did we go to Cincinnati?
2021.
2021. I haven't had it since 2021. And before that, I had it since 2017. J Fever, I know how you roll. That's why I'm shocked. I gotta buy more Telcoin now. You got me one. I'm gonna look into it when we get off of here. If Jake looking at it. Big Watch Dude said that's fire, bro. I got my nephew a Navy watch. Oh my goodness, the nephew
Oh,
got
they
the
did.
Navy watch.
They did have a Navy watch. I forgot about that.
But see, they ain't got no Air Force watch. They don't show us
I
no
don't know
love.
if they had a Marine watch. I can't.
I'm sure they would, but I don't know why they ain't showing no love to the Air Force. Peep your ex Twitter account for the watch pic I sent you. Oh, most definitely, Big Watch Dude. Oh, you follow us. Yay, you gotta clap it up for him. You better clap it up because we ain't got no followers on Twitter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's following us now.
How you fighting to get followed?
He got a good group of crypto fam that he follows. It's beautiful that you recognize your husband's strengths. My husband's beautiful. I recognize all of him. Can we get this man the LeBron coin? I am going to if they come out with one. But you know what, Jake? I've been waiting for, and not crypto coin, I'm talking silver ounce coin. I'm waiting for Wu-Tang to come out with like a Wu-Tang collectible. Elton John, U2, all of these rock stars got these silver ounces on ATMEX.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, we can't get a Wu-Tang or a Tupac or a Biggie coin.
A Black Mamba coin.
I take a Black Mamba coin.
Yeah,
that's my dude. I always say Mamba out. Shiny Goo, thank you so much for joining us. But we're at the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. We are going to be logging off. Erin didn't do her nails today. She got to press on some new ones this weekend. So hopefully when we come on Saturday, my nails will be done. So these choices and trade-offs, I got to do my own damn nails, but I got to find them first and make sure I can find some Cola Loca kombucha, meaning the Cola Loca with the brush. So we love y'all, family. For those of y'all in partnerships, if there's a visionary in that partnership, invest into the vision. Invest into the vision. A lot of times it takes some tweaking, some trial, some error. It takes a little bit of failure, but never look at failure as a bad thing. Always look at it as a lesson launch pad to success. And like I said, as we're changing our mindsets and we're shifting our mindsets and the way we perceive things, start asking yourself, what do I need to do to be able to invest more into my investments? Whether it's Bitcoin or whatever your portfolio looks like, start going through your ledgers, start doing your 12-week goals. April 1st is steady approaching us. And remember the dollar cost average.
And also for the people, I'm sorry, people who come on, if you want to pop in the room, just let us know. We'll send you the thing. You can pop in.
Yeah, we'll send you the link if you wanted to cam up and engage with the chatters. We had a great time with Jake the time he came on. He was a lot more serious than he usually is. But towards the end of the broadcast, he was joking it up with us.
Everyone get on. People got jokes.
Cousin Rue, when he come on here, he dropping jewels. So I'll be having to rewatch the show and take the notes because I can't really take them during the show when we're engaging with each other. So shout out to Cousin Rue. But if any of you, Crit Work, KW1, she came on. Anybody else came on? I think Cousin Jake ran off Cryptonomics. Cryptonomics used to be on all of our shows, Jake, until you ain't called him out about some Reggie Middleton debate. So I need to see if I can get Cryptonomics back in the chat and back with this family. He's feeling the way. I don't know how I'm going to find him. I'm going to find him. Cryptonomics, if you watch the replays, we love you and miss you. Please come back on and don't worry about Jake. Also, Jake, send your wife my love. I'm sure she's probably ready to go. And the children. So tell Mrs. Perry, I hope she's having as comfortable a time as possible. But we love y'all family so much. Again, if you guys want us to shout you out like we shout out BK Crypto and some of the other content cousins, please message me at assets.arbitrage@gmail.com. Shout out to Bam Hardrick and CC Hardrick, who have a great farm. Loving the way they're bringing their kids up and showing them how to live that natural life, the farm life. It's beautiful. And we love all of y'all, every single last one of y'all. So just let me know how we can support you guys. If you need us to, you know how to reach us. We'll see you guys on Friday?
I think Saturday.
Maybe Saturday. Usually it's supposed to be Friday since today's Wednesday, but Saturday is a little bit better for me. I would appreciate that. So hopefully we'll see you Saturday. Are you guys getting the notifications when I send them? I just want to wait to see if 1 or 2 people say, yes, we do get your notifications before I hop off.
I see him on my page.
He said, Cryptonomics is my chat sometimes. Tell him we miss him and don't bother with Jake. Cousin Ruth. That's because Jake ain't running him off your show. That's why he be in your chats. No, you don't get my notifications. That's what I'm saying. I don't.
I get him.
All right, I'm gonna disconnect the bridges and then reconnect the bridge to see if it works better. But thank you so much for letting me know, Big Watch Dude. I'm gonna try to, they're not getting the notifications, baby.
Oh, okay.
I think it has something to do with the bridges at the top. I get it, but it's me.
I got one and.
But I'm saying that's our account. I'm not gonna argue with him on here. We love y'all. Bye. Oh, thank you, Let Freedom Ring. Have a great one. And I'm serious, Let Freedom Ring. You want to come somewhere warm? Come visit your cousins. We got you. You just let us know.